What's going on, guys? Welcome to a Python mathematics and stock indicators tutorial video. In this video we're going to be covering swing index and also really the accumulative swing index. So my plan really is just to go A to Z with this tutorial series here, A to Z in indicators, that is. But really the accumulative swing index is just the accumulation of a lot of swing indexes. So we're going to start off with swing index, explain what this is, and then start talking about how we're going to actually program this. So the swing index is developed by this Wells-Wilder guy. The idea of it is to determine the actual strength of the market and the trends of the market. Pretty much it's used with futures, and you wouldn't really necessarily have to, but the main reason here is you're using this limit move as part of the equation here. So that's pretty much why it is reserved for futures. And also it's a long-term kind of thing. You wouldn't necessarily use it intraday, but you can, and probably what we're going to do here is intraday anyways. So the calculation for swing index is below. Sometimes you'll see it as SI, but I think SI is just kind of not good, especially when we're going through a bunch of different indicators. So I usually call it SWIN or SWIN. Now the calculation for this is 50 times C2C1 plus 0.5 blah 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 blah. Yeah, so what's all that mean? This is what it all means. So this, C for close, 2, 1. The ones is corresponds to the prior day. 2 is that day, right? And then you've got basically this entire equation. And the other things to keep in mind is R has 2 steps to the calculation here. First, you want to figure out which is the biggest of these 3 here. And then if the first one is the biggest, then R equals this calculation. If the second is the largest, then R equals this calculation, and so on. Then K is the largest period of either H2, right? So the high of today minus the close of yesterday, or the low of today minus the close of yesterday. Either one that is the largest. And finally, the output here, the output's going to range from anything from a negative 100 to 100. And the output is either, if it's positive, that's a positive signal. The signal is positive. If it's negative, it's negative. And the actual change in signal appears when the 0 line is crossed. So either from a negative to a positive, and so on. So that's what it is. So as you can see, there's a few steps. Let's go back to the steps here. There's a few steps to the calculation of this process. First, you would want to obviously figure out what R is actually equal to and what K is actually equal to. Also, L is equal to the limit move, right? And if you're not familiar with what limit move is, if you're not interested in futures, the limit move is basically the most that future can actually move. So they set limits so it can't move any more than X, right? So for example, gold would be $75, silver 50 cents, and so on. And so anyway, so this is the equation. So we have a few different steps to this equation, so it's not maybe as simple as some of these other equations will end up being. But at the end of the day, it's really quite simple to do within Python. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next video, is breaking this equation down, building it up in Python, and then we'll actually graph the accumulation of the swing index with that charting application that I showed you guys. Again, if you don't have it, you can just download it off my website. So anyways, if that sounds interesting to you guys, stay tuned to the next video. As always, thanks for watching.